Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For those who are just tuning in for the first time, my name's Deb and I'm from Project Life Deb's Way. I've got a lovely layout for you this time, and I've been using the Mintay papers from Grandma's Attics collection, and it's a beautiful collection. I've used it a lot for cards and everything else, so I thought I'd do a layout with it as well. So this is from photographs from last year, so I'll show you the layout that I have done. And here is your first page. I try not to get the light on it to give you a clue. And as I said, the papers are absolutely beautiful with this collection. And the second side is, there we go. And I will do the whole process from start to finish and show you all the different cards. So please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because then you'll get notifications and etc. When I have new content and etc. And also, if you can, leave a comment in that, because I do appreciate if you do that. So I will show you all the papers and what I've used, and then we'll get on with making the cards. So let's get on with the fun. So here's a good look at the cards that you'll be making with this process video. And as I said, I will go through all the cards from start to finish, and then you'll have a side-by-side layout once you've done the process video. So we're going to start on card number 1, which of course, as if you've seen my videos before, you sort of know I class these as my eye candy cards. And it's because they don't have a photograph on them. They're just virtually a very pretty card to put into your layout. Now my first paper is a 6x4, which is landscape, which came from page number 1 in the Grandma's Attic papers, from the top left hand corner. And then I cut a strip from paper number 3, which I used the back, and it just has a little clock on it. I also cut a 6x4 piece, and I've also used the bottom piece of this particular card as well for that card, so that on the other side of my layout I also have a strip of this particular paper on my card. Now I'm just going to pop that, and I've cut off 1/4 inch off of one end, so that I can get, once again, that nice little 1/8 inch border all of the way around. So once we have popped that card together, I then have used my ephemera, and this card here came from the 3x4 cut apart cards that you have, and I've just cut this piece out, and I've edged all of my edges with my distress ink here, and I've just gone round with a dauber just to darken the edges off, so if you get any little white bits that you've missed with your fussy cutting, they will be gone. So now this particular card here I am going to pop down, but I am only going to attach it on this one side, because I do want to put some things under here. So I won't press that down until I've got everything stuck down. Now in this particular line they have a beautiful paper with loads of tags and things on, so I've just cut some of the tags from that and the cut apart sheet. And with these I'm just going to pop these down, and tuck them in, layer that one on the top. Actually, having a look at this tag, I'm going to poke that one right in that card so it just pops out, so you can't see the upside down to and from. Now in here I've also got one of the white flowers off of the cut apart sheet. I'm just going to pop that underneath, and the pink rose, which I cut some off of some of my spare paper. It's going down like that. Now attach that card. Now I'm going to put a blue butterfly here, and I'm going to raise it. Now, as you know, I like to have my butterflies with a bit of movement, so I've just put 2 pieces of tiny pieces of foam tape, and as you know, you can get those strips of foam tape. Mine are from that I bought from Couture Creations, and they're just the tiny strips, and that's all I use these strips for. So then I put a tiny bit of the glue or tape if you want, and then wedge your butterfly down in the middle, and that gives you a bit of movement with your butterfly. Now we have card number 1 finished, and then you can just put whatever title or whatever you want on these cards just there. Now card number 2 is such an easy card. I know you can't see it here. I'll put it up against this card. You can actually see I've done a 4.5 inch black card, then a 4.25 inch white card, which is my photo mat, and then you'd put your true 3x4 photograph on there. So I've just put that on to my card already to save time, because you don't need to see me doing that. Now this particular card came from, I am just having a quick look at my sheet here, and this came from sheet number 2 here, and I've just used this top bit up here, and I've done a 6x4 inch card. I'm sorry I'm having to show you that on a 6x6 pad, but that's all I had left of these papers after I've done this layout. So with this particular card, all you need to do is you just mount your photo mat onto this card, because it's such a busy paper. You don't have to do much with this particular card, and just lay that in with a roughly about 1/4 inch border, so that it's even all round. And this particular sheet has come from the beautiful cut apart sheet that you can tell, and it has come from this one here right in the middle, and I've edged around the edges, and I have put a tiny bit of foam tape on the back because I want to raise this slightly, and I love this tape. It's half the normal width of foam tape. I don't know whether you can actually see that, but it really is very fine, and I want that raised a little bit. So I want that to go over the top of that photograph there, and then I will just get my scissors and just trim that down so it will go into your pockets. And there we have card number 2 very quickly completely. Now we're on to card number 3. Once again, this is a very easy card as well. So all I've got is my 6x4, which I've done in a sort of a turquoise cardstock from Basil. And then this particular door piece, I've actually cut from, I used this bit down here and at the top. So it's just that part of the door I used to give me that colour that I wanted. So I've cut this down to 5, and let me have a look, I'll be able to tell you in a minute. I've cut that down to 5 3/4 by 3 3/4, so you've got that lovely little 1/8 of an inch border of that lovely turquoise card, which just makes everything, it just pops it out. And then this little piece I actually cut from paper number 2, and it's just here. I've cut that so I could have some of the print, and as you can tell, it is quite pretty, and I wanted to just pop that onto this piece here, and this measures 3.5 by 2.5, and I've distressed around the edges as normal. So I'm just going to pop that, once again having that nice little border. Then I am going to put my photo, just so there's a little bit of a border top and bottom, and the same amount of border as you've got with your turquoise. Now on this particular one, don't press this side of the card down too hard. So just lay it where you want it, attach it down so it's nice and straight on this edge here, and don't do this one. So now we're going to put our lovely little tag, which I haven't edged, so I'm just going to quickly, very lightly edge that, and that's going to pop underneath the card like so, just at the bottom. Then you can press your photo mat down. Now this has come from the cut apart sheet, and I have put a little piece of that foam tape on again just to raise that up, and I'm going to pop that up into the corner. And I think I might even just turn it around, because that way you actually see more of the ticket, and if any of it's leaning over the card, just give it a bit of a snip off so it fits into your pocket. And there we have card number 3 finished. Now card number 4 is a true 6x4 photo. All I've done is a 6x4 in black, and then I have done my photo mat is 5 7/8 by 3 7/8, just to give that little bit of a border, and of course then you would have your photograph inside of that. So I'm just putting that onto white card so you can actually see, and I've stuck them together. So that's card number 4. Now we're on to our little 3x4 cards, and because in Australia we're unable to get our little 3x4 combination in our sleeves, we have to use a 6x4. So I just make it look like it is two separate 3x4 cards, but it is quite easy to do. All I've done is I've got my little photo mat, which is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8. So I'll pop that onto my card, which would be number 5. This would be number 5B. So all I have to do there is just pop that onto my 6x4 black card and give myself that little border, because then you know your next card will go straight over the top, so you will still have that lovely little photo mat. It's just an easy way of using your pockets. Now this particular one came from the 3x4 cut aparts, and as you can see it's the one with the 2 lights, and I've just used those beautiful back borders that Mintay always seem to do. They make these cards so easy to do. So I've just edged around in the brown with that. I'm going to pop that straight onto that card. Now I've cut one of those tags from the tag sheet, and I'll strip that down, and I'm going to put that, so I've just got a tiny little border of the green on like that, and then I've got the beautiful flower cluster here, which I'm going to pop just here, and then I think I'll put my lovely butterfly just at the bottom. So I've put foam tape all over this just to give it a bit of dimension. And this piece I'm going to hide that from. Like that. Now once again I have done my fluttering with my butterfly, so I'll just get my little bit of and press that down. I may put another butterfly at the bottom. I am not sure yet whether I will need to or not. And there's card 5A and 5B completed. Just an update, I have just cut from the cut apart sheet a little white flower and a little bit of green leaf there, because it looked like there was too much space there. So I'm just going to tuck those up and underneath. Probably if I recut this I would actually leave, there was some leaves here before on the cut apart sheet. I think I would actually leave those intact. There we go. So there we have that card now finished to my satisfaction. So we're doing once again similar to what we've just done with card 5A and 5B. We're going to do the same with 5C and 5D. I have put my little white photo mat onto the black card. So this time I want to cover that whole black piece of card up. So I've got my 6x4 in the turquoise, which I will just pop on to that black card. So it covers the whole piece but leaves that little black border there. Now this particular card I have just taken off, and it's the from the frames that you get on the back of the 3x4. I've just used the back. Unfortunately I cut too much off, so I've had to mount it onto another card to make it that little bigger, because I only wanted that little 1/8 of an inch border all around that card. And I still think it's a little bit too big this way, so I'm just going to trim off just a fraction. Just show a little bit. That's beautiful. You just want a little bit of turquoise. So I just quickly run over where I've done that edging with my distress ink, and then that goes centered onto that card. And as I said, if you make a mistake like I've done, you can basically cover up. Nobody will know any different. Now this particular one, once again, came from that 3x4 cut apart sheet, and I want this to lay flat onto that card. I'm just going to put some tape on there. And I'm going to put that right centered with that tag at the top, like so. Now I have cut this from the 3x4. There is a 3x4 card with this one because it's slightly smaller than what's on the cut apart sheet, and I have got some foam tape on that. I'll just go around because I haven't edged the edges of that, and I want that to go just on top where that bingo card is. And see how that's got that from there? I'm going to put a butterfly on there, and once again I have fluttered the wings, put my little bit of acid-free glue on there. You can actually get PVA glues that are acid-free. I actually use, it's a Helmer, and as you can see it's got a big acid-free on there. It's a PVA glue, but it is acid-free, which is important because it actually, acid can affect your photographs. And there we have card 5C and 5D finished, and we've completely finished one side of our layout. So there's a quick sneak peek of side one of the layout. Now we're on to our right hand side layout, and we're doing card number 6, which once again is very easy. You have your 6x4 in your basil cardstock in the turquoise. Now this particular card is 5 7/8 by 3 7/8, and I've cut it from the top of the page. Just here is where I've taken this particular card from. Now I'm turning mine upside down virtually, and I'll distress the edges as normal, and that is going to go onto my basil with just that lovely little border all the way around. I've just done this to give a bit of pop to my layout. Now I've also got my 4 1/4 black photo mat. As you can tell, I've stuck my white photo mat, which is 4 1/8 by 3 1/8, so it will hold a true 4x3 photo. Now this particular card, I want to go down the bottom here. Now for the sake of this, I am going to put tape at the bottom and tape at the top. So take the bottom tape off and attach it with a 1/4 inch border all the way around the card, and press that down, and that gives you your tucking here. So I need this lovely tag that I've cut up the top here, and I'm going to, I think I might actually move it across to this side to hide that light, because I don't know whether, oh yes it does. Then I'm going to poke that card so you can actually just see the card on the side. So I'm going to take the tape off of that and pop that in. Like that. Now this flower I want underneath, not on top. But I think I want that moved forward. So what I'm going to do is take this tape off here, take that tape off, and I'm going to put on the top, just on the top, a couple of pieces of mounting tape. And I'm going to slide that underneath like so, and have that raised just that little bit. And I think I will find a butterfly from one of my cut apart sheets somewhere. There's plenty of butterflies. I think it just needs a little something else. So I'm going to cut out a butterfly. Butterfly has been cut. Now once again I'm going to flutter those wings. I'll cut my 2 bits of tape. There we go. A little bit of that glue. That looks much better. So there we have card number 6 ready to go into your pockets. So we're on to card number 7 now, and this one once again is really quite easy to do. I'll just rub my numbers off here so they don't show. Now I've distressed around the edges once again I've put my photo mat and card on my 4 1/4 inch black card, and I will put this in, and this is 5 7/8 by 3 7/8, just so it shows that little bit of blue turquoise cardstock. I'm going to put that on centered, and this particular card was cut from here, it'd have to be. It was from here up at the top, so it would be that strip in the middle there. I've got my 6 by 4 and then I've trimmed it down. And this piece has come from my 3 by 4 cut apart cards. Now I didn't like this butterfly here, so I am going to attach this flower over the top to hide that butterfly because he's just too big. So I'm going to sort of stick him over the top so it looks like there's a flower there instead. So my little card goes at the top with that little border all the way around. I'm just going to stick my... Now as you can see, I don't use mountains of tape because these reside in a plastic folder, so consequently they don't get the wear and tear that anything that gets handled, so you don't have to put mountains of tape on. Now with this one, I'm just going to put a little bit of tape at the bottom because I want to hang this over my photo, and if you put tape at the top you won't be able to get your photograph in. So I'm going to pop that just off center, and that way you can actually get your photograph in. Now my little blue butterfly, I want him just here. It looks much better than just where it was before. Once again, I've fluttered the wings of this butterfly. Hold the center down for a few seconds. And there's card number 7. Now we're on to card number 8, and this one really is a very easy eye candy card. As you can see, the butterfly is in the correct position with this, but we are going to cover it up. Now the ephemera for this, I actually cut this whole piece off here, which is this piece here, and the card actually came from this card here, and it came off of the bottom just here. I cut that. So we're having this card upwards, even though the pattern's completely wrong because I decided I loved this big tag. So I'm going to put that tag right over that card so I've just got the side bits. So don't worry about the thing at the bottom. The main thing is to get that card centered right to the top, like so. And then what I did is I have edged all of this, and this is going on the bottom here. So we just put some tape. I'll run some tape across the top and pop that on the corner of your card across the bottom, like so. And then the butterfly, I have once again fluttered those wings. And I'm going to pop this butterfly straight over that butterfly. Sorry, I forgot to put a little bit of glue in there. Hold that down for a few minutes, and this makes a great title card. So all I'm going to do now is turn the card over, trim off all the excess bits, there we have a fabulous title card, or you can put a bit of journaling on here. There's plenty of room to do that. So there's card 8 ready to go. And we're on our last 6x4 cards, which is our card number 9. And you remember I actually said I cut that 1.5 inch strip, which is 5 3/4, and it's by 1.5 inches, and I've distressed the edges, and this is to match up for the one that's on the other side of your layout. So I'm just going to pop that straight onto my card that I've distressed, my 6x4, which has come from the first sheet. And it would be this sheet here, just at the top. I've cut a 6x4 for that. So this one's really easy. Once again, I've got my same size, which is your 4 1/4 black with 4 1/8 white. Photo mat, the same as what I've done all the way through. We'll turn the card round the right way. Now I want this to be popped sort of in the center of that card. Like that, so you can see that nice green strip. Now I've cut a couple of little flower clusters, a smaller butterfly which I've fluttered. Now I'm going to put this one flat and tuck that underneath. So we'll just get some tape and tape that down. Just like that at the bottom. Now this flower here I want on some foam tape, so I'm going to put my foam tape on that piece. like so, and then my lovely little winged butterfly. Sort of put off center. There we have card number 9 and our last of our 6x4s finished. Okay, these are our 2 photo cards, our 10D and 10B. Once again, I've got my 3x4 in the black, and I've just taken, let me just double check that. I've taken 1/8 of an inch off the top and 1/8 of an inch off the side, just to give me that 1/16 of an inch border. So you can fit the biggest photograph that you possibly can on those. So they're very easy to do. So now we're on to our last 2 of our 3x4 cards, which I class as my eye candy cards. And so this particular one, 10A, I've just cut this one from the cut apart sheet and using the reverse. So to hide some of these flowers here, I've popped my bingo card here. So I'm just going to attach bingo card. And then I have got from the cut apart sheet this lovely little flower cluster, which I'm going to pop just raised slightly up the top. I'm going to put some and these are all flat. So we'll pop that one down. Like so. Now I've taken this from the cut apart sheet, and I'm just going to pop that here, and then over on the side here where we've got that white space, I am going to put my fluttering butterfly. And there's that card finished. Those border cards are absolutely fantastic to use on your project life. Now this one I've cut a little bit smaller to give me that nice little border. So I'm going to, and that was once again from the 3x4 cards, and once again I'm going to just tape that down and center it. I've distressed around the edges, so we'll pop that straight into the middle of that card. Now from the 3x4 card, I've cut this out again, and if you remember rightly, we used the similar thing on the other side of the layout, and it just keeps your continuity nice. So this particular one we're going to tape flat. And that is going to go along the bottom of this card. Now we have here, sorry, I'll lift that up while I still can and just have the bottom done up, because I want to be able to pop that little tag. Just going to cut a bit off. pop the little tag in. And I've got a little bit of a clock here. Now, because that butterfly is slanting the wrong way, I have cut from the 3x4 little cards. I found this one on the front, so I am going to attach this raised on foam tape. I'm going to do a no-no and cut that with my fussy cutting scissors. Then I've cut my butterfly. We're going to make him flutter. Thanks very much for staying to the end of the video. So you should have finished all your cards by now, and you've got this beautiful side-by-side layout that you can put your photographs and etc. and then pop it into your album. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, keep crafting. Bye.